I have been very clear in my time up here, and I don't think there's a time that somebody can tell me I've done differently. I am in a political party because that is the system that we're in. I vote for myself, my constituents, my God, my faith, and I do what I feel is the right thing to do, even if that puts me in disagreement with folks in my party, your party, or whoever it is. I bring these things up because one of the things that happens and why it gets so dangerous in this country, and really anywhere, it's throughout history, when you start really kind of trying to fit yourself into two boxes, is I don't care if you got a population of 10. At some point, that 5 that's in that box, they're going to start disagreeing about something. And so while we've been concentrating on these maps and things of that sort, I'm looking at other things. And two of the things that have really stayed deeply in my mind are Tom Tillis and John Bolton. When I got here, Tom Tillis was Speaker. There are a lot of people here that are in the majority right now that I think if we say it in an honest moment, you're here because of Tom Tillis. Tom Tillis had a vision. He saw an opportunity to take a majority. And I don't think there are many people when it comes down to the state legislature that could have done more for Republicans and putting Republicans in majority than Tom Tillis. And I really don't. And I know that the President Pro Tem was also involved, but I remember Tillis's popularity and leadership coming out of Mecklenburg. So why has he been on my mind? He's going home. And he hadn't really done anything wrong. There's not really something you can point to where he's been out of line with the party or he's been some rogue agent. I don't think anybody would ever describe him as a rogue agent. But he fell out of favor with the present leadership of the party. I look at John Bolton. There was not a closer advisor to the present administration than John Bolton. He's under indictment. And why that's concerning is because for those of you who have never been in the federal system, feds don't bring an indictment if they don't think they're getting ready to get a conviction. That guy's going to prison. And again, off the little bit of information I know, I'm not sure why, except for I know that he has been identified as an enemy of the administration. So why do I bring these things up? With these maps, the maps that were drawn in 24 were allowed to be drawn for partisan advantage. That ship sailed, that's it. So I think those maps were the maps that folks in this chamber that voted on it believe were the best Republican maps you could get. And now we're back again. And we're doing it again to curry favor with the administration, but what we're really doing is consolidating power. So the warning I would give the folks is this: it's all well and good as long as you stay in favor. But one day, you're John Bolton. One day you're Tom Tillis. One day you're like, but the most important thing for my constituents, which is what I believe all 120 of us are here for. The most important thing with my constituents is actually out of line with what this particular administration wants. Not the party, but what this administration wants. And when we start doing things to make a person happy, this is something I feel strongly about, and I don't mind bringing up in church. You don't follow a pastor. You support your church. And I bring that up because I think all great organizations, that's what you do. It's not about the person who's at top. It's about what ultimately helps all of the people we're supposed to be serving. I will give it to you. There's been no pretense that this is doing something to make things better for North Carolinians. This is something to gain power and to hold power. I would just warn all of us that when we do things for that reason, it's going to come back to bite. I know how many people I've watched get walked out of here, not physically, but figuratively, when they fall out of line with something that leadership wants, which again is nothing that's violative of the party. I would hope we'd vote these maps down simply for this reason. One, I will never believe in so-and-so did something, so I'm going to do something back. Somebody hits you, you got to hit them back. Somebody attacks you, you got to attack them back. But bad behavior politically, whoever started it, does not ever merit bad behavior politically here, because you know what's going to happen with North Carolina? Doesn't matter how this congressional stuff goes. Ultimately, North Carolina is going to be all right because we are here as North Carolina's leadership. So I ask you to vote no on this, not to be insulting, not to talk about anybody, not to say one idea is better than the other, not say one party or one leadership is better than another. I'm not even saying if this was the greatest president we'd ever had in our lives, I say the same thing, that it's not about who's in leadership now. It's about starting the habit of doing things for a person and not for the folks that we serve and not for the folks that you serve with. And I don't want to see us become that, so I ask that you vote no.